You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I do appreciate that. We also got an awesome person in the studio right now, Mr. Don Robles. Give it up for Mr. Don Robles.
That's awesome.
I thought people were probably like, "Oh, they're talking about."
Aced.
Yeah, I also am in the studio, and I am a very awesome man. But we have another awesome man in the studio right now.
I'm
Right
flattered.
now,
Flattered.
right night. I'm sorry, I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous around Mr. Robles and shit. I want to make a good impression. I put on my best Iron Maiden shirt. I'm just feeling
Oh, yeah,
myself.
you looked super classy when you walked me into here.
Perfect. That's what I try to do. So, did you mind when I put the burlap sack on your head?
Not at all. I trusted you. I implicitly trusted that you meant me no harm.
That's good because it's not about. I'm glad that you trusted me because I put the burlap sack because I didn't trust you, and I just wanted to make sure that you didn't know where I actually lived and stuff. See, this is actually not the real studio. This is what I call my burner studio. This is where I take my. This is where I take my side guests. You know what I mean? I got my steady guests, but then I need to get some side. I take my side guests over to my side studio,
All
my
right.
burner
All right.
studio.
At least I know where I stand in your totem pole.
Hey man, at least you're on my totem pole. It's pretty fucking big too.
Aced.
Oh yeah. So, Mr. Robles, let's get this out of the way. I always ask every guest this: how big is your penis?
How big it? Do you actually really want? Sure, why not? 5.5 inches.
5.5 inches. Let's give it up for the biggest penis that's ever been on the show, ever in the whole world. That could be the biggest penis I've ever heard of. Actually,
No.
that's pretty insane. That's wild.
It's very average. It's very not anything to go home to about,
Nah,
in my opinion, at least.
nobody's writing any songs about that penis. Is what you're saying? Maybe they're sad songs, slow, sad songs.
Yes, that's exactly it. Yes.
That's fine. I think we actually got the guests in on their way real quick. 1 second. So, Mr. Robles, can you talk to the audience for just a half a second? Introduce yourself. Tell them how you're feeling this morning.
All right. Well, my name is Don Robles. I worked in IT for 11 years, and after I got tired of that sucking my soul for the better part of basically that entire time, I realized that I need to change. I need to do something. I need to do something else. So I quit my job in IT. I started working in a restaurant. I started as a busser, and then I became a server, which is what I'm doing right now. And in February of last year, February 15th of 2022, I started doing stand-up. That was the first time I went up on stage. It was at the Elbow Room here in San Antonio. Did that, and I've been doing it since. I live in a van. I live in a Ford E350, and I do comedy, and I'm a server. That's it. That's my life. I live in a van. I'm a server at a restaurant, and I do comedy.
And you're also living my dream. I don't know if you're aware of this. I've told you many times. You might think I was messing with you, but I've always wanted to live in a van, have like a little tiny house kind of van thing. My old man stole my dream. Now he's going to be building. He's turning a ambulance into a fucking little house and shit, which I don't know. I'm tired of everybody stealing my dreams. So, Mr. Robles, give it back. Give me my dream back, please.
No, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Honestly, like living in a van has its drawbacks for sure. If you want to do it, I say go for it, man. It's also really really fun. You just wake up in a different place. You gotta be on your feet all the time.
Sounds like with me and drinking. Every time I'm drinking, I'm just waking up at a different place. You know what also isn't all it's cracked up to be?
What?
Crack.
Crack?
Yeah.
Never done it.
Never done crack. What about coke?
Am I missing out?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever done crack. I did a little bit of the coke, but coke was great. And I hear crack's like, crack is the dabs of coke.
Crack is the dabs of coke, huh?
Yeah, that's why I always got mad when people started doing dabs and shit. I was like, why are we in such a rush to make weed into a narcotic? Mm-hmm. But so yeah, no, don't do. If people are out there listening, don't do crack. Save it for me. That's right.
Aced.
Yeah, crack prices are too high right now. We need to fucking flood the market with some crackheads or something. I don't know how economy works. Do you know how economics works?
I've studied. Short answer, no. I've definitely looked into some things like with the economy and just looking into economics. I like Bitcoin. Bitcoin's really interesting to me, and that's definitely something that I read into from time to time. So Yeah, I guess so. A little bit, little awareness of the economy or the economics and whatnot.
All right, so you say you're a server now. Is this the
Mm-hmm.
first time you've ever done serving?
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever been a server.
Well, I just
Yes.
want to say, Mr. Robles, thank you for your service.
You're welcome. No,
Yeah. So, is it a big step down from doing programming, or do you like do you kind of get off on how humbled you are by it?
um, I'll definitely say you work far more as a server than you do as a guy who works in IT. It's like IT. You sit at a desk. You sit at a desk, and you're in front of a computer, and you're attending meetings that you don't really want to attend. You're talking to people that you otherwise really wouldn't care to talk to. And there's just this whole environment of nobody's ever really accountable for like anything. Like everybody, we had like this thing called like the blameless culture, where if someone messed up, you didn't blame them. Which, I mean, I get the idea behind it, but it's just like someone had an idea and it failed, and I don't see an issue with like calling it out. So that was always something that bugged me with being a server. So much of it is like the job is so easy. It's so easy and just like repetitive that like it's not something to be taken seriously. Like there's no real big thought put into it. It's just like bring people food and serve them. That's it. And it's fun because it lets you be free with basically everything else. Like when I'm at work, I don't think about work. When I'm at work, I'm thinking about, talking with my coworkers, talking shit, making fun of each other, you know, playing with each other, right? Like just doing fun things, just being normal, being a person with other people. Like that's probably the most distinctive difference I've noticed between working in a restaurant and working in IT. And I definitely prefer the restaurant environment to the IT corporate environment. It's just it's not as suffocating.
Know what I like about the restaurant environment?
Yo,
The Coke.
the
Aced.
Yeah, that's the only time that people ever just pull out Coke casually at a job is usually at a restaurant job. Maybe at a construction job. I hear people get pretty cokey over there too. That's how they're able to wake up so fucking early in the morning. You ever see those dudes at like 4 a.m. and you go to the gas station and fucking. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention Jimmy and John passed out on my couch last night because they were partying too hard. So I think they just started to wake up right now. And I guess they're part of the podcast too. Let's give it up for my best friends, Jimmy Lou and Jonathan Abraham, also hosts of their own damn podcast and their own damn open mics. One second, I'm fucking up.
No.
All right, now say.
What's going on, everyone? How's it going? Alonzo, Don, how we doing today?
what's up, Johnny Abraham?
All right, now let's get back to Don. He's the real guest, but you guys are a lovely audience. It's so great. I'm so glad everybody's here right now. I have all my friends. Feels like it's fuel on open mic right now, right? Feels like it's fuel on. I'm gonna get my fuel on. 1 second. Where's my drink? All right. So, Mr. Robles,
Sir.
you went from programming, you went to serving. Did you do anything before that?
Like life wise or just work wise?
Work-wise.
Work wise. Before that, I was working in just general work study jobs in college. Those were my first jobs. My first job ever was when I worked in Commons as a freshman. That was the first job I ever had. My parents never really wanted me to have a job in like high school because they just wanted me focused on school. So they just
And you
never
showed
really
them,
let
I'm
me
going to
get
become a
job.
comedian, mom and dad. Fuck you and your plans for me.
That was honestly, no lie, like a real big part of just the angst that came with quitting my job and like doing the whole thing that I'm doing.
Yeah, because
right
you weren't
now.
doing it for you. You were doing it for them, right?
Being judged by your parents?
Huh?
Being judged by your parents?
Well, because like my parents worked their entire lives to basically give my siblings and I a chance to go to college, and so that was their
Suckers.
Whole life. Yeah.
I would have bought a fucking Ferrari.
That's such boomer shit.
How dare
Caring
they
about
care
your
about
children.
me?
Yeah.
Those bastards giving me love and care. Like, what is that about?
Assholes.
Yeah, and look at you now.
Yeah, exactly. Look what all that did me.
Look what that got them.
Now he's just the most caring, empathetic person in the world, and now he's working as a server. Come on.
Yeah. So
What the hell
like,
happened?
it was a weight that I had to deal with doing that, because that's what my parents' whole life went to. And so me to like quit my job, which I got through going to college. And
Oh, do they know yet? Did you tell them?
Oh yeah, no, they've known. And just to get to the point, I guess. We
got 2 hours to kill. You can take all your time.
Oh no. But the gist of it is that they're supportive of me and what I'm doing right now. They are supportive about that. But basically,
Give it up for Robles' parents. That's fucking badass.
yeah. But that was just like the thing that went into my thinking when I was thinking about quitting my job and then doing this. And then ultimately I did it, and then I told them, and they were super cool about it. Like there was no like. My dad told me two things when I told him that this was like the thing that I was going to start doing. The first he said was that he's like, I didn't like the job that I had before because it wasn't a job that really challenged me, right? Like, and I take what my dad says seriously, because my dad's not really a liar. He doesn't lie. He doesn't kiss your ass. He's like very, this is what it is, and this is what I think. And I've noticed that's a lot of like how I am. Is like, damn, I'm a lot like my dad. But he said, you quit the job because it wasn't a challenge. And then the other thing that he said was that as long as you have this, he points to his head. He's like, as long as you have this, I think you can do anything. And if you want to do comedy, okay. Like, you've always loved it. You've always enjoyed it since you were a kid. And I thought about it and just like, yeah, I just loved watching the specials, the stand-up specials on like Comedy Central. Gabriel Iglesias, he was hilarious. Ron White's Tater Salad, that was huge. The Blue Collar Comedy Tour. Dave Chappelle, Chappelle's Show.
So when your dad pointed to his head, he was pointing to the 5.5, right? He was like, as long as you got that, my man, you can do whatever you want in this fucking business.
Absolutely. Totally pointed at his crotch and just like, this 5.5.
His other head, yeah.
Yeah, that head.
That head.
The most important head.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you get ahead in life.
Yes, you get head. Relaxes you and makes everything way easier.
Did you invite him over to the van yet? Have they stayed over at your place?
No, we wouldn't fit. We would not fit in that thing.
Don't call them fat. That's gross. Don't say that about your family.
It's a huge van you got working.
He's got a
on
big
there.
fucking van.
Yeah.
You need a roommate?
It's like a little house. It's like bigger than my first apartment. It's like
It could sleep too. Honestly, it could sleep too. Personally, my dad's asked me before about taking out the passenger seat in the van. He's just like, it would give you like all that space, and I'm like, no, I don't want to. And this I haven't actually told him, because I'm curious to hear what he would say, but I haven't told him yet. I've told my mom, but that's that when I'm sitting in that seat and I look at that passenger seat, it's like I envision my wife sitting there, right? Like I envision her sitting there in that seat.
Isn't that like called schizophrenia? What is that? She talked to you? Robles, kill them.
It's totally insane. I know. Absolutely.
Send them to the Lord, Robles.
what does Mrs. Robles tell you in these?
What race is Mrs. Robles? God damn it, Robles! I ain't gonna be sitting in this stinky ass van. I need some suicide doors up in this bitch.
My mom is Mexican.
Cognac.
She's from Nuevo Laredo, Texas, or Texas. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And
Oh no, I'm not talking about your mom's. I'm talking about your
your
fantasy wife.
Oh, my
Yeah.
fantasy. Yeah. No,
That's why I was like, this is going weird.
I'm not so schizophrenic that I actually paint out a whole perfect picture of her.
Oh, I do.
Oh,
I got a whole harem of schizo chicks.
excellent.
That's what you kids are missing these days with your whole.
Right. If you're gonna be crazy,
Well, we used to call it imagination back in the day, but now they call it schizophrenia and ADHD. But
Yeah.
everything's got to be diagnosis now.
Oh, but that is pretty romantic though. You want to see your woman there. She's gonna be riding with you. Is there gonna be a couple little Robleses running around?
Yeah, we'd have
Little Don Juniors.
we'd have two on top strapped down to the roof of the van.
And you can name the girl Donna.
We'd have the other three inside.
Donna, Donald, Donovan.
We'd be a makeshift
Donia.
trailer trash white Mexican family.
Pretty cool, dude. And then you can you can add on to the truck. You know what I mean? You can make a trailer or something to the van and stuff, and you just keep on building like Mexicans do.
Yeah,
you know?
right. Like
I
just
think
add on.
John-
Add a second
John
story
would-
to the
would
van.
Hire your family for his fireworks stand.
Yeah.
Since y'all are mobile like that.
Oh yeah, dude,
yeah.
you're like
You
a
just
new
sell 'em,
gypsy.
yeah.
That's so cool. You could have a whole gypsy caravan. You guys could be running scams on people, going door to door, being like, "Your wife ordered this Bible before she died," and
All right. No, maybe, possibly. I have thought about like getting a trailer and putting it like towing it with me and then
saw the
setting up.
best ad for a fucking trailer that they're giving away, and I'm like, who pissed who off in this divorce that they're just trying to give away this trailer now?
man.
I should have sent it to you now that I think about it.
Maybe, but I've had
keep an eye out.
I've had a
Sorry.
thought about like building out a trailer and basically having a podcast studio in that back trailer, and then
Ooh,
just
little
like
travel trailer.
lugging that around. But I always decide against it just because like then I'd have to lug that trailer around, and my van's already big as it is. I don't have the space. That's the thing. I
Maybe you
don't have
took
the
out
space.
that passenger seat. You just put a podcast studio.
Have you considered getting a bus?
No,
Oh yeah, get a schoolie.
hell
Yeah.
no.
Why not?
Or
It's
even a
not that bad actually. You can get them pretty cheap.
A bus is so
Get a
damn
box
big.
van.
No.
No, you get a special ed bus.
Yeah, a special ed bus or a box van would be like.
I want to get a fucking like a U-Haul kind of van, exactly like one
Yeah,
of those.
they
box
sell the
vans.
used ones out there pretty cheap. I've looked
Yeah.
into it. It's like 10 grand.
Yeah, but who wants a used U-Haul van?
I mean, they're cheap, right? They're just
No, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to rent a U-Haul van and then just never give it
never
back. Yeah, that's how you get it.
For
That's how
10
you get the
grand?
used U-Haul van.
10 grand, you get one of those mini trucks sent over from China. Have you seen those?
No.
Those little tiny baby trucks. Yeah, they're like
mega trucks.
No, they're like they're like little tiny baby pickup trucks.
Yeah,
but they're
yeah.
the size of like Mini Coopers.
Yeah,
Oh, we can ride around in those fuckers?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
like
they like literally
they're like
will
smart
just
cars
ship
with,
it over in a
with-
crate.
with tailgate or something, right?
Yeah.
That'd be what the little Robles ride around in and all that.
It's a
They're
pickup
following
truck,
around
but
Daddy
mini.
Robles with the little time. They had their own little vans
Right?
and stuff. That'd be so
Yeah.
cute.
I want to get a little clown truck.
Clown truck.
So when are you gonna start your podcast? What are you gonna call it? I am Don Robles.
I don't really.
On the road again.
On the road again. Yes.
Aced.
That was an ace moment right there, my friend.
No, I don't know. I haven't really put a whole lot of thought into the whole.
You don't need
podcast
to.
idea.
John did it for you.
Yeah.
And Don,
you go.
no, it's just
You're
like
welcome.
Oh,
whenever
day, buddy.
whenever I think about doing a podcast that I would want to do, I think about like big leather. I think about big leather lounge chairs with like a single wooden small table between the two with like cigars.
I like that. Scotch.
And no, I wouldn't drink. I drink milk.
I can be on that podcast. Well, I mean, I could
Yeah,
drink
drink
though,
milk.
right?
I drink milk, and then the guests would have whatever it is that they want to have.
I
But
was
that
telling John, milk goes hard sometimes. Like I understand why they do that in the cartoons. Like
Mm-hmm.
you made a tall glass of milk.
Well, I like
Very
milk
nice,
after a nice peanut butter sandwich. That is the
Yeah.
best time to eat milk.
I'm
Oh my
lactose
god.
intolerant, though.
So am I. So I had to get the
Yeah,
almond
it's,
milk.
Almond milk.
Almond milk rules. Honestly, after I got my my girlfriend and my mom on it, after they started drinking almond milk, they never went back to regular milk. After you start drinking regular milk again, it tastes too sweet. You taste all the sugar and it just
I
tastes
drink-
gross.
I
Yeah,
drink
milk. Yeah,
lactose-free
regular milk
milk.
is real sweet.
But that's weird because the only time I drink regular milk is when I drink chocolate milk. So it's like that isn't sweet. But go on. This is fascinating.
well, yeah, it'd be like one camera, maybe two cameras. Two
On
cameras.
the road again.
No, you need with three. Sorry, I get into I get lost in the details of like how things would go. But my thing would be it'd be a 3-camera setup with one camera taking on both people with both chairs, and one camera obviously looking at each guest. Right, you got the host, me, and then you got the guest. And so I think about recording it and then streaming it, and I like class. I like classiness. I like dressing nice. I like
So
looking
you'd be like Lex
put
Friedman
together.
kind of on your podcast. Just in this
It would be a
suit.
little upscale, even though it's a podcast. It'd be like a little more like a speakeasy style. Or,
Yeah,
I like
think
that.
think
That's
think
nice.
Jordan Peterson like that, like the way Jordan Peterson does his.
You must wear a
his
suit and
stuff.
tie to be on the Don podcast.
Yeah, like if I had a guest, I'd be like, all right, for my podcast, this is the whole theme, this is the whole setup. Look good, right? Look your idea of good. Look your idea of what you want people to think of as like your best image, if you will.
red carpet.
Yeah, sort of like that.
I like
and
that.
then I like the idea because I like the idea of putting effort into things and making things meaningful and intentional because that is it. that is itself the thing that makes the thing meaningful and intentional, right? So like me quitting my job when I quit my job was very meaningful to me because it's like this is me embarking on a whole new chapter of my life where I'm basically following my desire to find fulfillment in my life than just like, oh, working a job, right? So for that, it was extremely meaningful, right? And if I have a podcast where it's really big lounge chairs and it's a nice wooden table and we're smoking cigars and drinking classy drinks and we're dressed nicely and we're in this nice like wooden backdrop, it's like, all right, we're like,
It's kind of worth it. Makes it all a little worth it.
It brings it sets the tone for everybody involved, right? That like, all right, we're gonna listen to something like, I hate to say this word, but like interesting, classy, upscale. Like I think that's what you said, Jimmy. And I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with that. I've always enjoyed doing things like that.
Sounds kinky.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what kinky is and how much fun sex can be until you're wearing a tie and a lady is on top of you using it as a fucking horse straddle to ride you.
Like I feel like I would leave that podcast and be like, do you think Don's about to go jerk it right now? Like as soon as we walk out the door.
He's just gonna look in the mirror at his suit and just start wearing.
No, I don't have a suit. I would love to dress in a suit like every day, honestly. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of maintenance. It's a lot of money too.
Yeah.
You like classy shit, Don?
I love classy shit. Yes.
You like classy ass colognes and such?
I don't wear any colognes, but I'm probably gonna start wearing a cologne because, no lie, I read this article about like women who find guys attractive. It's like, all right, it's like you look nice, you dress nice, you act nice, you smell nice. It's just like,
You want to smell some fancy ass fucking cologne?
That makes
sure,
sense.
you got
All
some.
right.
All right, yeah, lay it on me.
Motherfucker, I was about to
You were just about to rip one, weren't you?
But